Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be using our gorgeous Swan Lake Club Gift to make this absolutely stunning kinetic card using our topper collection, our double-sided papers and our parchment. To start off with, we're going to take our Hello Little Ones topper, coordinating foil cardstock, some mirri, we've got our beautiful parchment paper and two of our double-sided papers, and of course we're going to finish off with some fantastic gems. So let's start by making the base of our card, which is going to be a kinetic card. So we're going to make that from our A4 sheet of silver mirri. I'm going to start off by adding in our score lines. Now because it's mirri, we're going to score it on the back just for ease. So we're going to pop this on our inches side of our scoreboard, and I'm going to score at 2, and then I'm all the way down to 2, and then we're going to score at 4 all the way down, at 6 down to 2, and then at 8 all the way down. And we're going to flip that over, and then we're just going to join up the other two score lines as well. So if we pop this on our scoreboard like so, we can add in that score line at 2 all the way down to the 2, and then at 6 as well all the way down. Now we're just going to add some cut lines. So if we take our trimmer, and I'm going to start off now by just trimming one side just down to 8, and then we're going to take our trimmer to 2 inches, and we're going to cut between that first score line and our second score line, so all the way across there, and then we're going to flip it over and do exactly the same on the opposite side. So at 2, and we're going to cut from 1 to the opposite edge there, and then you can bring in your scoreboard just to marry up those extra lines on here. So if we just line this up on our scoreboard anywhere, we can just make sure all of those scores go in. So next up we want to add our burnishes. So I'm just going to fold this piece upwards, and then we're going to fold this section in as well. So just fold it all the way at first, and then we're going to pop these two sides down and just crease those folds as well. So let's just score in those scores, and then at the base as well. So then we can start to dress up our card shape with our elements from our collection. So taking the beautiful cardstock from this kit, we're going to cut a panel to fit on this edge here. So let's just double check that size. So it's 3 1/4. So let's cut 3 3/4, sorry. So if I cut this down to 2 notches below that, and then we want it to be 2 notches below the 8, because that's the height of our card, and then that panel will fit perfectly on to here. So we can stick that down with some of our double-sided tape. So once our tape is ready to go, we're going to stick this panel down nice and straight, and then we can cover up the rest of our card. So just adding that into place like so, and then for the rest of our panels you're going to cut two squares 2 notches smaller than 4x4 from this beautiful green colour. Then we've got some smaller squares made from the blue, which are 2 notches smaller than 2 by 2, and then we've also cut some parchment 2 notches smaller than 2 by 2 from our gorgeous parchment paper as well. So we're going to start off by adding in these panels onto the center of our card. So just lining this up. So one on there. I'm going to add the other one on the opposite side. So popping that onto here. And then we're going to alternate between our parchment and our blue pattern paper for the bottom and the top of our card. So starting off in the corners with this beautiful parchment, just placing that along our card until all of that mirror is covered up. And once we've done the top, then we're going to do the bottom. Once we've done the bottom, we're going to do the top in exactly the same way. So just placing these onto there, and then we'll turn this over and matching up that pattern as well. We'll start off with our parchment and then move along. The top of the card. So our final panel, and then we just need to add a topper to our beautiful card now. So I'm going to take the large square from the top of our pad here, and this is going to fit really nicely onto our card. I think we might twist the frames as well just to make it a little bit more interesting. Then I'm going to use this panel here as well. We can pop a little image on there, and let's go with a new adventure awaits. And then I think for the very top corner here, I'm going to go with hello little one, and I think we might use this border strip as well. So let's take that out from here. Once we're happy with all of our placements, we can just get sticking all of these pieces together. So let's take that border strip. I'm going to start by, we'll go from this panel and move across. So let's take some of our double-sided tape for this side of our panel here, and we'll stick that across the center of this top section. We can trim that off and add our sentiment with some foam pads. So placing that up at the top there, and then for our middle panel, going to get some larger foam pad squares and just lift this up off the top here. We'll add one foam pad to this side piece, and then I'm going to go in with some tape on this panel here just to sit that across our image like so. And then for our main large topper, let's pop all of our frames out, so you get two really large frames with this one and then that gorgeous central image. And then let's take out those frames as well, and we'll work out how we want this to sit on our card. So if we pop this one on like that, and then we can place this on top. So what I want to do is stick this onto our frame here, and I'm going to do that using some construction glue. So I'm just going to place little dots of the construction glue nicely around the corners of this frame here where we want it to stick onto a larger rectangle. And doing this allows you now to know where we can add our foam pads to. So if we flip this over, we can add our little foam pad circles onto the spacing that this is going to create. So adding that onto there, and then for extra security I'm also then going to fill in the gaps between those points with my smaller foam pad strips. So the smallest ones are just going to work really nicely around that center frame, and we know that's going to stick centrally on our 4x4 panel. So let's just add that all the way around this card. There we go. We'll remove this backing now. Place this onto the panel, making sure that it's nice and even on that backing section. And then let's place our topper on centrally, and we'll double up the foam pads on here because we know that this is going to stand out from those panels that we've already created and just look absolutely phenomenal. So let's go in with a few more. Add this into the center of this panel, like so. And then we're going to finish this off with some beautiful gemstones from this selection. I've chosen the green ones to add on here, and we're going to go with the lightest shade. So I'm going to start off by just adding 3 medium-sized ones, the gorgeous pearls in this bottom corner here. I'm going to then add 3 of the medium ones across the, let's go across the side here because there's a little bit of space on this panel. So let's go 3 in that space there, and then I think possibly let's keep this sort of pattern going, and we'll add 3 just down this 2-inch section that we have running down our card. And that is how you can combine your topper set with your parchment, your double-sided papers, and your beautiful gemstones.